In the quiet hum of a Charlotte light rail train on the evening of August 22, 2025, a young woman named Iryna Zarutska boarded, her mind perhaps drifting to dreams of a brighter future. At just 23 years old, she had fled the horrors of war in Ukraine 3 years earlier, arriving in America with her family in search of peace and safety. She worked diligently at a local pizzeria, saving for her aspiration to become a veterinary assistant, her kind heart drawn to healing animals as she rebuilt her own life. But in an instant, that promise was shattered by a senseless act of violence that exposes the darkest shadows lurking within humanity, the monsters that dwell not in fairy tales but in the broken souls among us. The assailant, DeCarlos Brown Jr., a 34-year-old man haunted by his own demons, sat nearby. Surveillance footage captures the chilling moment. Iryna, engrossed in her phone, unaware of the danger behind her. Without warning, Brown pulled a pocket knife from his hoodie and struck her 3 times, including a fatal wound to her neck. She collapsed, her life ebbing away on the cold floor of the train car. Brown, after the attack, was heard muttering words that hinted at racial malice, declaring he had He fled the scene but was arrested shortly after, now facing first-degree murder charges and a federal count for committing an act causing death on a mass transportation system, a crime that could lead to life imprisonment or even the death penalty. As of now, he remains in custody with the Justice Department vowing to seek the maximum punishment, ensuring he never walks free again. The investigation continues, but the scars of this tragedy ripple far beyond the courtroom. Brown's history paints a portrait of a man long lost to the monsters within and the systems that failed to contain them. A homeless individual with a record of over a dozen arrests stretching back more than a decade, including charges of robbery, larceny, and breaking and entering, he had been released on cashless bail multiple times, most recently in January 2025. His family reveals a tormented mind plagued by paranoid schizophrenia. His sister, Tracy Brown, shared in interviews that he believed the government had implanted materials in his brain to control him. In a recorded jail call days after the stabbing, Brown confessed to his sister, admitting he had hurt his hand while attacking Iryna, a woman he did not know and had never spoken to. Why would somebody stab somebody for no reason, he pondered aloud, yet claimed invisible forces had driven him, lashing out through his actions. His sister confirmed his delusions, including fears that Iryna was reading his mind.
So you said something in your body did what?
Nah, the material, put it like this, the material used my body to stab the lady.
And so she just got stabbed.
Yeah. You know that's not me. I'm talking about just for no reason. But since they did that, now they gotta investigate the material in my body. Since they want to do all that, now they gotta investigate.
It's funny because she's from the Ukraine, she's from Russia, and you know they had a war going on against the United States. So I'm just trying to understand, out of all people, why her?
It ain't. I don't have nothing. They just lashed out on her. That's what happened. They lashed out on her. Whoever was working the material, they lashed out on her.
This confession unveils not just personal torment, but a systemic failure, a monster bred from unchecked mental illness and repeated leniency in the justice system, allowing danger to roam free and claim innocent lives. President Donald Trump, addressing the nation, did not mince words on this horror. He described the killing as horrific and not really watchable after viewing the footage, labeling Brown an animal who deserves only a swift trial and the death penalty. Trump blamed Democratic policies in cities like Charlotte for enabling such violence, declaring that Iryna's blood is on the hands of those who prioritize criminals over public safety. Criminals like this need to be locked up, he stated emphatically, using the case to underscore his administration's push for stricter law and order. His words echo the outrage of many, highlighting how preventable this nightmare was, and how the monsters in our midst thrive when accountability falters. Yet the tragedy deepens when we consider the bystanders on that fateful train. Extended video footage shows passengers nearby as the attack unfolded, some frozen in shock, others perhaps too fearful to intervene. One individual even appeared to record the scene on their phone rather than rush to aid Iryna as she bled out. This inaction sparks a painful debate. In a moment of terror, do we reveal our own inner monsters through indifference? Experts point to the bystander effect, where shock and fear paralyze response. But the sight of Iryna curling up alone, her final moments unwitnessed by helping hands, serves as a stark reminder of humanity's capacity for detachment. No one deserves to die in such isolation, her pleas unspoken, her suffering unseen until it was too late. Iryna's family, shattered by grief, has broken their silence with a statement that pierces the heart. "We are heartbroken beyond words," they declared through their attorney. Iryna came here to find peace and safety, and instead her life was stolen from her in the most horrific way. No family should have to go through this. They demand justice for their beloved daughter, sister and niece, a kind, hard-working soul who touched lives at her jobs and in her community college classes. Her uncle, speaking publicly, recounted her strong desire for a better life, her gratitude for America's opportunities, and the devastating moment they learned of her fate at the train station. The family calls for sweeping public safety reforms, insisting this random act of evil exposes a broader crisis. This could have been anyone riding the light rail that night. Their words transform personal loss into a plea for change, revealing the monstrous toll of societal neglect on the most vulnerable. As we reflect on Iryna's story, we confront the true nature of monsters in people, not mythical beasts but the unchecked rage, the ignored illnesses, the failed systems and the indifferent crowds that allow innocence to be extinguished. Her journey from war-torn Ukraine to a supposed haven ended in unimaginable cruelty, a reminder that evil persists when we look away. Let her memory inspire us to demand better, to protect the dreamers among us before more lives are lost. If this story moved you and you want to stay informed on the world's most compelling tales of human resilience and tragedy, subscribe to our channel now. Hit that button, turn on notifications, and join us in uncovering the truths that shape our world. Together we can honor voices like Iryna's and push for a safer tomorrow.